I don't know, but it was not something for me. So I decided to quit that job and decide that I was going to go full time in entrepreneurship, with a big head thinking that, all right, this is going to work for me. I'm going to sell 20 million paintings and I'm going to rich. I was like probably 24 at the time. And I sold 3 paintings. And then I said, no, this not work out. Me if you go look at work. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It is Kadz. I don't know if I'm your girl, but it's Kadz and this is Wine with Kadz. I must apologize for the absence of wine today. I was given instructions not to consume any alcohol and yeah, I there are not many non-alcoholic wines that I like, so I chose not to. I'm recovering from, I had a sinus or flu. I'm not really sure what it was or is, and I was given medication, so I cannot consume no alcohol. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. Really, really sorry. Yeah, so I'm sorry for the absence of wine, and hopefully for next week's video, we'll be back up and running. I'll be back up and running and I can introduce it to a new wine. Okay, guys? I apologize. Anyway, in today's video, as you can see from the title, I will be talking about my anxieties in I'll be talking about my anxieties in regards to entrepreneurship and deciding to, go into entrepreneurship full-time again. So yeah, if you have wine, pour up your glass. Unfortunately, I won't be having wine with you today, but if you don't, thank you for being here. Like the video, share the video, and I'd love for you to comment if you have similar experiences, and or just say hi, I'm here. Just comment and tell me say you're there. Before we get into it, comment and say Kadz, me there, and so forth. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so. All right, let's get into it. So as some of you know, or I believe if you're OG Wine with Kadz, if you're part of the Kadz fam, you would know that I have tried my hands at entrepreneurship many times. And when I was preparing to, do this video, I was going through in my head how many times I've tried to do something entrepreneurial. And I'm like, wow, this is a lot of times. The first time I've tried anything entrepreneurial, which you probably don't know, is when I was in prep school. My sister and I used to sell candy at school. And she was probably the mastermind behind it, because I think it was her idea to sell candy, and we would sell, or cousins or uncle, well, we call him uncle, he would send candy from overseas and we'd sell them and we'd make a great profit. And I'm not really sure what happened to the money there, because why we never invest it, why we never bank it, until eventually we had the business start. I think we went get like some chocolates one time, and before they got to school, all of them melt out, and then the business kind of just flopped from there. But we had a booming business in prep school, and this was great for us. As you know, my sister went on to study business. I studied psychology, and I grew up in a family where everybody hustle. Everybody hustle. My grandmothers, both of them, I never grew up seeing them in a 9-to-5 job per se, but I saw them hustling. My grandmother, by my mom's side, she was and if you watch that video, and we need to do a second part, we need to do another part with her, and she keeps asking me. My grandmother was, from the tender age of 9, she was working until she started doing things for herself. She used to make wicker basket, wicker chair, wicker stuff, and then when I knew her, she was sewing, and she was very popular in Lucy. and she would be like, the go-to dressmaker. She would teach people how to sew. She would teach us to sew, and that's how she would send her kids to school. And I think there were probably some other ways too, but that's how she sent her kids to school. And then my father's mother, I know she had a shop in the marketplace in Lucy, and that's how should I get her income. So I grew up seeing that from the matriarchs of the family. And however, my mom, she had a 9 to 5. She would go to work every day and all that. So I was able to see a balance of both. My father, no, he was not, I believe at one point in his life, he used to work with people, but I don't think that's his, line of duty. And no, he does truck removal stuff. So that's what he does. And before that, he used to have, in taxi operation and so forth. So I grew up seeing people hustle, going the entrepreneurial road, deciding that, I'm going to make this my own. When I left, school and so forth, I thought I was going to be a psychologist. My hope, my dream was to be a clinical psychologist. And, that never panned out for me. I could not afford to do my master's after me finish my bachelor's. So I decided that, I'll just go work. And then I started working, and I realized that the kind of jobs that were available were not for me at all. There was nothing exciting about it. There was nothing that would really and truly keep me motivated. And I feel like that's when I started to experience depression. I started, probably before that, but I started to experience more depression when I started working in the call center. And I feel like a lot of people could relate to that. But anyway, after my second job, so I was working in the call center, then I started working in a hotel, and somebody recognized that, hey, Kadz, artist, like, I never know say artist and boom bangs. I was like, all right, we need to do this. And then the job that I was doing at the time was sales, and I am not a sales person. If I don't believe in what I'm selling, it's not gonna work for me. So it's not like a sales person. I probably just, I don't know, probably I needed to get my feet wet or something. I don't know, but it was not something for me. So I decided to quit that job and decided I was gonna go full time in entrepreneurship, with a big head, thinking that, all right, this is gonna work for me. I'm gonna sell 20 million paintings and I'm gonna rich. I was like probably 24 at the time, and I sold 3 paintings, and then I said, no, this not work out. I need to go look at work. Because at the time I was living on my own. I didn't have bills to pay, I have student loan to pay, I have rent to pay. I had to live, So I was like, all right. And I got another job, and I kept going back to, I don't remember the job that I had after that. Honestly, what was that job? I don't remember now. I think it was probably teaching. I was doing something. And if you go back to my first video when I talk about from a job hopper to a recruiter, you will see like I've had many jobs at my age. However, moving from there and then trying to sell my paintings, and then I stopped again. For some reason, I was out of a job again, and I came back and I tried doing the same thing, but I wasn't selling like, I was selling paintings, but not like these paintings. These are some of the paintings. I never sell this, but this is where I'm heading now. But I wasn't selling these. I was doing like little paintings with quotes. Some others, they would come around and I'll put out, and people would order, and they would tell me what they want me to put on it. They want the colors, and I would do that. And they go on well for a while. You could pay a couple of bills, and then start work again. In COVID, was it COVID? I don't know. But in COVID, I tried again. And then after COVID, that's when I think a lot of things started to pick up for me. And after going back to work, I decided, all right, I'm going to go into this full time. And that was 2020. I was going to go into this full time. At that time, I would have had pieces in Fontana. People were not recognizing me and what I do. But I also had to recognize that what I was doing then was a lot, a lot. And I got this order for like 50 pieces one time. And I was like, all right, things are going, but it still was not enough. It was not enough to replace a salary per se. So I was like, all right, gotta get a job again. So I did. And when I got that job, remember me telling them to say I got a job, and then 4 months after it, I got fired. So I got that job. That was that time. I got that job, I got fired. But when I got fired, I knew that I didn't want to jump back into entrepreneurship yet because I wasn't ready. I needed to be in a job for a period of time to kind of, get some stability somewhat. And then, when I feel ready, I would go into entrepreneurship fully. But that came with a lot of anxieties, and I think we finally reached to the meat of the matter. So deciding to go into entrepreneurship after so many failed attempts, it was like, all right, how am I going to do this? How am I going to, overcome all of those fears that I've had from previous experiences? And outside of the fact that I was doing painting, at one point I was doing wedding invitations, wedding program. I have journals. I still have my journals on Amazon, and I still have some in Fontana, I believe. And I was doing key holders, key things. I still do that, wedding signs, the signage stuff. And I had the clothing line. I'm gonna say, this clothing line now go work out, so I'm gonna stop. I was at one point even doing resume writing, interview prep, and all of that jazz, and that was okay for a time. But I feel like I said, I wasn't as committed to that, but I got a few clients there. So having tried so many things, I was like, why do I believe that it's gonna work out? No. Why should it work out? No. And then YouTube, like you guys, I got monetized this year after being on YouTube for 3 years, which is great. But between me and I'm gonna earn no money from YouTube yet. At the making of this video, I feel like I've probably earned like 50 cents. So, I'm like, all right. And like, we can't count on, YouTube giving me any income right now. But like, I need to make sure that when I go into this fully, I am able to sustain myself. So, but I was smarter about it this time. I didn't just go cold turkey after 3 months of success and say, all right, cut off my job and then jump into it. I was doing sip and paints on the side for an entire year before I said, you know what, I cannot do both. And it really got to the point where I was like, I started to get more consistent events. So that I'm in Montego Bay on Sundays, and then when Negril reached out to me, the space in Negril reached out to, what is wrong with this dog? But the space in Negril reached out to me, they wanted me to come on Wednesdays. Now me, when I work Monday to Friday, though I was working from home, there are so many days when I can't come up with one excuse to tell them, say, I gotta bounce at 3, you understand? So, for the first couple of weeks it worked, where I said to them, hey, I have something to do, and they were fine with it as long as I would have completed my work for the day. But say after a while it just didn't go work, and I don't feel like that was fair to any employer for me to just be like, all right, I'm gonna go skedaddle out of here, knowing that I had that commitment with them that I would work 40 hours of the week. So so I had to make my decision, and the decision was that I am going to go into this full time. I was so nervous the amount of times I wrote that resignation letter and say, yeah, I'm not sure about this. Because I had tried so many times prior and I failed. I'm like, how am I going to do this? Like, why am I feel like it at the moment? Like, all the last year, sip and pay when I go on and I was okay. And I got to the point where the business was able to take care of itself. So I didn't have to take from my personal, from what I was earning from work to, sustain the business, which I'm like, all right, this is good. So, something I say, why was I so fearful taking that leap of faith? Anyway, I did it, and I had a few people to hold me accountable when I said to them, say, I'm going to resign, and so that them hold me accountable. Oh my gosh. And also trying to get the car, because I know that getting the car was going to be the next step for the business. And yeah, I took that leap of faith. And I want to say to you that those anxieties did not just go away. Like in the first couple of weeks after I quit the job, and I couldn't get the car and all those kind of stuff happening, and also like I was not getting enough gigs. There was a period of time between June and August where things were just slow. I mean, I said to myself, I was like, why did I do this? Why did I quit my job? And I need to sustain myself, knowing, things not so great. However, I had a few friends who were like, Kadeen, I had one, I had Pratt. Pratt was like, Kadz, I know what you're going through right now. I know how you feel, but I know exactly what you're going to be and I know where you're headed. Just keep pushing, just keep pushing. And I want to say, like, during that period of time when I was, when I was at the lowest point in the business, I would say, when things, were slow. I don't know, things were just slow for a good period of time. I was getting job offers. Like, I was getting job offers. I wasn't applying for work. I was not applying for work. I get job offers. People that say, hey, Kadeen. And even before I made my decision to quit, people were like, hey, there's an HR position here. There's an HR position there. Why not apply for it? Why recommending me for positions? People were asking me, there's a position coming up, down the road. Would you be interested? And I'm like, no, I have to focus on my business. And I feel like keeping that kind of mindset, like, I have to focus on my business, I have to focus on my business, was me telling myself that I am going to have to fight for this. I am going to have to see through that, this is worth it. And I don't know how I got to the point of fearful to fearless, but at some point something changed. Something switched in me to the point where I'm like, no matter what comes, I am going to be okay. I'm going to be okay. And then the moment that mindset switched, the moment my mindset switched from, Lord Jesus, I don't know if I'm gonna make it, to no matter what comes, I'll be okay. I started to get events like that. I got to a place where I started to say, I am grateful. Even when it feel like, it's so hard to explain, because it's like within me, I felt so much joy doing exactly what I want to be doing. The anxiety would come when, a bill that come up, I mean, if you pay the bill, I'm going to sure about the money that come from it. However, there was so much joy in me saying that this is a sacrifice I have to make. And it's like, I have to make this sacrifice. I have to make this sacrifice. I just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other every single day in order to make it work. Because what else am I going to do? What else am I going to do? I strongly felt as though if I decided that I am going to take up a job right now, I'll be quitting on myself and I'll be quitting on the promise that I know that God made to me. So it's like, what you gonna do? It's like, it's not between a rock and a hard place, but it's like, I just know that this is something I have to do. This is something I feel strongly about. And I have seen where things have worked out in a way where the human mind, I still cannot comprehend. I still can't understand like how things just move from, not to like abundance. And it's not even at a place where I'd say like I'm rich, my loans then pay off. God, I wish, and the day is coming. But like, I'm at a place where I'm just so content and the anxiety is no longer there. I had to start telling myself that this is worth it. I am worth it. I am deserving of the dream that I have for myself. And this is a promise that God made for me. So therefore, if He made this a promise to me, it means that it'll go work out. You know what I mean? If He gave me the vision, it means that He is going to give me the clients. And that He did. There's no point in me crying, woe is me, when me dip on my face. When me dip on my face, that is the moment. Instead of like what I would do 5 years ago. 5 years ago, when which year? Which year we're in now? We're in 2023, so 5 years ago would that be 2017? I think, yeah. So not 2017, but 2015, which is a long time, which is 8 years ago. 8 years, I don't do the maths, but 2015 when I quit my job the first time and decided I was gonna do entrepreneurship. The decisions that I would have made then, I'd be like, woe is me, and now try and find opportunities for myself, is completely different from Kadeen at 32. I am just like, hey, we have bills to pay. The government needs their tax. And more importantly, my future children need to see that I am fighting for something that I truly, truly, truly believe in, And it's so funny how things just work out when your mindset, when you tell yourself, say, hey, this is the way it's gonna go, and this is the way it has to go, because it has to work out. There was a point where me just like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like my credit card max, I had to pay. I had like my bank accounts were frozen. There's so much information. Like my bank accounts were frozen. Like I'm like, I don't want to say frozen, but they were on hold, and I'm like, I couldn't do nothing. Like I'm like, all right. And this was not like last year. This was recently. I'm like, all right. Well, and to know that is my reality. To know that is my reality, and people are offering me jobs, and in my head I'm like, no, I have to stay focused. It was so hard. I said to myself, say, what if I am being too stubborn? What if it is that this is not what I'm supposed to do? What am I supposed to go look at work? But I knew within myself that if I decided to do a 9 to 5, I couldn't do both, because I'm at an age now where I have to be all in. I have to all in on my work and on my job. If I have a job, and I have to be all in if I'm running a business. And I just got to the point where I stopped being scared to ask. I stopped being scared to reach out. I stopped being scared to approach people. I go on parking lot, I have to go pay something at the tax office, and I drove in. The guy who drove in behind me was working at a place where I'm interested in partnering with, and I just walked up to him. I was like, hey, I'm so and so. I see that you're wearing the shirt, and then I say, based on the car I'm driving, I say, that man kind of large, I guess. And then he told me the position he was working there. And I was like, all right, I'm interested in doing, so and so. And he's like, all right. Gave me his card. And I was like, the only thing they can tell you is no. And hearing no is not the worst thing, because it should only push you to the point where you're like, all right, it's either you're going to change up your approach and reapproach them, because nothing wrong. You're the one who wants this opportunity. You're the one who's hungry for this. You understand? So hearing no shouldn't deter you. You already know, should I be like, all right, you said no, I'm gonna go somewhere else, and they'll probably find what I'm offering attractive. Or you say, all right, let me work on my approach, let me work on my pitch, let me work on, my marketing strategy. Because how else are you going to grow? How else are you going to know that this is something for you? Otherwise, you're going to just be there then, woe is me, let me go look on work, and then stay down on work, and you're unhappy for the rest of your life. I don't see that for myself. I know that there are persons who can work a 9 to 5 and be happy with it. I'm applauding because it takes guts. It takes guts. It takes a lot of guts to, to work in especially some environments where there's so much abuse and so much harassment, so much things that are going wrong, so much politics and so forth. May applaud someone if you can do that. Even though I can't hold my head down and just do what I need to do and focus on that, I knew that I felt stifled in a 9 to 5 environment. Whether I was working at home or I was in office, I felt stifled. I felt like I couldn't be my full self, and especially because I spend so much time at work. I need to be able to. I need that. I need that outlet there. I need that. So yeah, that's why I took that jump, even though I was scared as shit. I was terrified. And I feel like if you're not terrified, if your dreams don't terrify you, you're not dreaming big enough. And there is so much more that I want to do, and there's so much more that I'm scared of. However, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm gonna do it anyway, and I feel like it's going to be worth it in the end. And I feel like, God is not going to leave me, on the wayside. He not gonna left me a road, because he promised me, say, he might go carry me through, he might go give me everything I want. So why is it that me not claim it? Maybe I am delusional. I am probably really delusional, or I have faith I can move mountains. But I've seen some things happen in just the past week alone. Since October coming in, I feel like October is a very good month to me. But I've seen so many things happen to the point where I'm just like, it has to be you, God. It has to be you. There was a point just recently where every day I was getting something. I'm just like, all right. I start telling myself, say, every day I get money. I started to say, every day I get money. Every day I get money. And then it wasn't like a chant or anything. I just realized that at the beginning of the week, I got money not for any work that I did or was about to do, but I got money. And I was talking to a friend and I said, no man, I feel like I said, me get money. And I was like, no, this happened today. Then the next day I got money. I got paid for an upcoming event. I said, no man. That was strange to me because the event is not until probably 2 weeks, 2 weeks time. I was like, no, this is strange, because normally people don't pay me until probably the week off. Like, this is strange. So I said, no man, every day this week I get money. The next day I get money. The following day I got money. And I said, all right, I see what you're doing there, God. I am claiming everything. So it's either me, as I say, it's either me extremely delusional, or me have faith what can really, really move mountains. But I truly, truly believe that your mindset can change the game and change the trajectory of your whole life. Be it that whether you're in business or whether you work for somebody, I feel like the mindset that you have can give you whatever outcome. It can be positive or negative, but at the end of the day, it all depends on you. It all depends on you. If you continue to believe that everything is going to work out as they should, everything is going to work out in your favor. Everything is going to work out in your favor. You can't just make the tides fling you where they want. You have to take control and charge of where you want your life to go. And the moment I recognize that I had that power because God placed that power in me, I start demand it, I start claim it, I start say, you know what, God, you promised me this. You promised me this as a child. So I'm going to go out there and behave like your child. Behave like, the world is my oasis and and everything in it belongs to me. And yeah, the Lulu is the Salulu. The Lulu is the Salulu. Like, I strongly believe that everything that I ask for, as long as it's in alignment with what God wants for me, I'm going to get it. And I hope that me sharing this experience with you will allow you to, have that belief for yourself, that anything that you ask in faith, believe in, you will get it. The Bible can't wrong. The Bible can't wrong. And even if, read your Bible daily, which honestly, I need to start doing more. I don't read my Bible daily. But if you read your Bible daily, or even if you don't, you should be able to look back in your life and look at how many times God has taken you from out of the pit, literally, out of the pit, and say, I got you. How many times, some of we shouldn't even have been here if we continue on the path that we were on. And God decided that, hey, I got you. So if you look back on your life and realize that, everything that I want, I can't speak for your life, but I feel like everything that I've wanted in my life, God has given it to me. And therefore, everything else that I want in my life, He's going to give it to me. I don't feel like I'm the worst person out there. I'm not perfect. No, far from. But I feel like He loves me enough to give me that. And I feel like we should all walk around knowing that God loves us and He wants the best for us. And when we know that God loves, we will operate different. We don't operate with a big head. We don't operate egotistical. We don't operate arrogant. But we operate in a way where we're content, we're happy, we're full of joy, and we want people to experience it. We want people to experience it as well. We don't want, I don't feel like people who know that God loves them behave proud and behave like, they head above everybody else and they're superior to everybody else. We go out there content in who we are, knowing who we are, not wanting to change who we are for anybody but God, and just believing that, when our time comes, our time is here. And, when you operate like that, like nothing can miss you. I don't feel like my blessing can't miss me. My blessing cannot miss me. I don't feel like time I go pass me by. Everything that I should have could come to me. And that, my dear friends, is how I was able to get rid of the anxieties that I had towards entrepreneurship and towards life in general. Like, yeah, everything. I'm just like, all right, this is out of my control. God, you deal with this. And yeah, I go sleep. I got my bed, I'm gonna sleep, I'm gonna wake up the next day, and I do what is in my control, which is to prepare myself for my paying parties, ensure that there's gas in my car, ensure that my bills are paid to the best of my ability. And yeah, I do what I can control. I make sure my bed make come on time, I make sure I sweep out my house, make sure I'm fed, because you not drop manna from the sky again. But make sure I control what I can control and leave the rest to Him. And the moment me let go off of that, I am like, who worried? Who stressed? Not me. Not me. Not me. Anyway, guys, yeah, so if you have anything that you want to share in the comment section below, I'd love for you to share. I'm always down there chatting with y'all. And I appreciate all of you in last week's video who messaged me off YouTube, just to share their own experience and to offer remorse with that situation. As well as those of you who commented, I really appreciate that. You help the video when you engage. You help the video when you comment below, and you like the video and you share the video, and it really helps the channel. I remember saying, I am a trying girl. I'm a trying girl. So now we need to share the video so that we can get some views, so that we can start earn some money. What is wrong with this dog? so we can start earn, and be like official YouTuber. Because while me a part of the YouTube program, I don't feel like one YouTuber yet, because I not earn no money from YouTube. But yeah, share anything that you'd like to share below in terms of your anxieties. How are you getting over your anxieties and worries and stresses and all those kind of things? And if it is that you found this video helpful or inspirational, I'd love for you to share that. Yeah, I'd love for you to share that. And before I close this video, I just want to encourage you to stay focused on whatever it is your dream or goal is. If it is that you are a young entrepreneur or you've been in it for a while and you feel like sometimes things don't go the way how you want to go, stay the course. It will be worth it in the end. You matter, your dream matters, and there is space here for you. There is a place here for you, and whatever it is that your business offers. There's a reason God placed that in you. There's a reason God gave you that vision, and only you can execute it in the way that you will. So yeah, stay the course, because the world needs it. The world needs your vision. The world needs your dream. And yeah, just try and remember that God placed that in you for a reason, and that's your purpose. And that's my 2 cents. I feel like I've been talking for an hour, but anyway, guys, thank you for having a sip of wine with Kadz. I'm sorry, next week we'll be sipping, but thank you for having a sip of wine with Kadz. Don't forget to like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on your notification bells, because we post every week, every Sunday at 5 p.m. All right, bye guys. Mwah!